Sunlife Financial Indonesia justru berhasil mencatatkan pertumbuhan premi baru sebesar 380% menjadi 264 miliar rupiah di akhir tahun 2013. Apa yang membuat kinerja perusahaan asal Kanada ini gemilang? Langsung kami hadirkan wawancara Karissa Syawaldi dengan Kevin Distrain, Presiden Sunlife Financial Asia yang telah kami rekam sebelumnya.
So Kevin, will Sunlife Financial launch new product this year, and do you have any specific target for premium or profit coming from Indonesia?
Yes, so I'll talk about a couple of things. First is we have quite a few new products we're going to be launching this year with a real focus on health and accident, but also on the traditional business. But over the next 3 years, Sunlife is investing close to $40 million US dollars or Canadian dollars into Indonesia to really rapidly grow our agency force. We want to be 15,000 agents. We're at 7,500 today. We want to be 15,000 agents 3 years from now. But importantly, we want to double the productivity of each and every one of those agents. So doubling the size and then doubling the productivity. So we want to be much bigger. We're going to invest that $40 million in people, in technology, and in brand.
So with that $40 million, and you said 3 years?
In 3 years, yeah.
How are you going to manage the distribution of agents in Indonesia? Because we're a country with a lot of islands, and how do you manage that?
Right. So we're going to be setting up regional centers. We were actually in one yesterday in Medan. In Medan, last year we had 2 branches. We just added 7 new branches yesterday and a new regional sort of office in Vincent. That regional office will have branding, will have sort of the company logo on it. These 7 centers each have a branch manager and multiple agents, and we're going to be repeating this model like we've done in Medan across the country. It's interesting, in Medan, last year Medan was 6% of our premium. This quarter, first quarter, was 20% already of the premium. It's almost reached the sales this quarter that they had all of last year in Medan. And that's the model we want to pursue. Medan's a little bit ahead of some of the other areas, but that's the model we want to pursue.
So with that $40 million...
we wouldn't be one of the biggest by number, but we're focusing on the quality of the agent. And as I said earlier, our goal is to have the most respected agents and most respected by the customer, by other agents, by the industry, but primarily by the customer, first and foremost, putting the customer ahead.
And how does Indonesia...
Asia is one of the 4 pillars of the company's growth globally. 2 years ago, Asia was under 10% of the company's income, so under 10% isn't yet a pillar. We made just under $130 million Canadian. Our goal in 2015 is $225 million Canadian. We want to be closer to 20% of the company, and so Asia is a really important growth piece. Inside of Asia, the ASEAN region is really important to us. We added Vietnam and Malaysia to our existing businesses here in Indonesia and the Philippines, so we have 4 ASEAN countries. But in my opinion, you can't be successful in the ASEAN region unless you're successful in Indonesia. Biggest GDP, biggest population, huge potential for us. So we have a lot of focus on Indonesia. If we can get Indonesia right, it will help us in the ASEAN region, and it will help us in overall. In particular in the ASEAN region, to share ideas, to share, particularly in the digital site. If you look at what we've done with, we have a website called Brighter Life.ca. Brighter Way is a re-engineering project we're doing, so Brighter Life. But we also have Facebook sites, and so there's things that we do in Malaysia that can be borrowed here in Indonesia. There's things we can do in Indonesia that can be borrowed in the Philippines.
So you see that more as an opportunity than as a threat?
I think it's a big opportunity, actually. I think there's lots and lots of opportunity in the ASEAN region. We've seen some competitors that have grown so significantly, and there's just huge opportunity here. So this investment is about saying, we think Indonesia is going to be successful, and we think we need to do it now. I think if you miss this window of opportunity, the next 3 to 5 years, this industry is going to grow incredibly, and us making this investment is saying this is the time, and we want to see Sunlife do much better than it's done in the first 20 years. Not that it's done poorly in the first 20 years, but we could have done so much better and be so much bigger. And we have examples to follow, like the Philippines.
And here in Indonesia, we projected for insurance company could grow around 20% this year. But actually, there's not a lot of Indonesian people quite know about insurance and how to use it. but also the middle class is also growing. And do you
Right.
see this as a potential growth for Sun Life Indonesia in the future?
Oh, for sure. There's a strong correlation between GDP per capita and insurance sales. And as the GDP per capita grows in Indonesia and the middle class grows, there'll be much, much more opportunity for insurance. Indonesians need life insurance, health insurance, wealth products as much as anybody in the world does, right? We all want to protect our families. We want to save for retirement. We want our kids to get a good education. We want to have protection in case we become ill, if we get for cancer, for example, those types of things. So insurance is a really important piece of somebody's financial plan. And as the GDP grows, more and more people are going to see the need, and we need to be there to invest in that need. But the best way to do that is to have the right type of agents who can have the right types of conversations with their clients.
Right. And looking at the Asia itself, Sharia insurance has been quite for a
Yes.
while, right?
Yeah.
And do you see it potentials growing in Indonesia, and how do you see that in comparison with other Asian countries?
Yeah, so part of our strategic spend is going to be specifically on Sharia and how we do agency for Sharia and having a specific focus on Sharia inside of our agency. I think there's a huge opportunity to deliver the right products in a way that really helps the Sharia customer. So the customer who wants a Sharia product and wants an experience that's a Sharia experience, we're going to build out an agency force that can meet that and a product suite that can meet that. And we're putting a significant focus just on the Sharia piece. So about a third of that $40 million spend, and a little bit more if you sort of say that some of the conventional piece will spill over to Sharia, will be specific to growing Sharia.
So you're saying that you will have an expansion also for Sharia agent,
Focus
and
on
we will
Sharia.
have focus agent on Sharia?
Yeah, we'll have an expansion that's focused specifically on Sharia. We've already added 10 new Sharia branches in the past year, and we think there's a huge opportunity on the Sharia side.
Do you see it, do you have a specific target of how many percentage growth?
Yes, we want Sharia to be 25% of our business.
Oh, okay.
And we have a real focus on making it 25% and growing it. And we see spillover impact because we have a business in Malaysia and a business in India. And if we can get some more Sharia experience here, we can share that with Malaysia. Malaysia can share it back into to our business here in Indonesia.
Right. And last but not least, so the Financial Services Authority in Indonesia has set the minimum capital for insurance company.
Yeah.
For some local company have to merge with another insurance company. Do you have any plan to acquire insurance company in the future? Maybe?
So, you know, we're always looking at acquisition potential, and I think that if the right potential came up here in Indonesia, we would think about it. We're a big supporter of strong capital. In Canada, we have a very strong regulator, we have a very strong capital regime, very strong risk management. The most important thing as an insurance company is you're here the long term for your customer to pay for the financial services they bought when they need it the most. So having a strong regulator, having a strong capital position is good things. Some consolidation, I think, is also a good thing because it can build the strength of the industry. So we're always looking, and if there was one that was a good strategic fit at the right price. We added CIMB Sun Life 4 years ago. A strong bank insurance relationship with CIMB Niaga is an example of where we built through acquisition here in Indonesia. So if there was the right opportunity, we would definitely look at it.
All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Thanks, Preston. Thanks.
Dubai Islamic Bank atau DIB dan juga Afin Holding Group akan meminang Bank Panin Syariah. Selengkapnya